All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's afternoon technically, I guess, for me. Welcome. So happy to have all of you here. Looks like everything is working correctly, which is beautiful. I hope you're all having an absolutely amazing day. The Hubs and I just came up to our property in northern Michigan, and it was 33 degrees when I woke up this morning. I was not quite ready for that. I'm really ready for fall, but yeah, wasn't quite ready for what feels like winter already, but that's okay. I just wanted to welcome you all in. Thrilled to have you here. This class is something that a lot of you have been asking me to kind of put together. So we're going to talk about daily detoxification. So some things that you can do every single day to help your body detoxify. And the reason why this is so important, especially right now, is because detoxification can actually help us to make sure our immune systems are functioning correctly. And as we kind of head in the season of COVID and then going into the winter months, back to school, back to work for a lot of us, it's going to be really important that we are taking ownership of our health and recognizing that there's so much we can do in the walls of our home to protect ourselves and to make sure that we are armed as best as possible when we go out in the world. I was listening to doTERRA's virtual convention last week, which was incredible. And our chief medical officer, who also is a board certified infectious disease specialist, was chatting with us a little bit about the immune system. And he said something which I knew to be true, but for some reason it really hit me. He was talking about the fact that we are, bombarded all day long by different environmental threats and pathogens and things like that. And he shared with us that there are actually more microbial cells on and around our bodies than there are human cells, which kind of blew my mind a little bit to think about it that way. And it sort of really opens up the scope of just how many threats we're exposed to all the time and just how beautiful our immune systems are and this gorgeously designed body that we're all living in, because it just does the things, right? It just fights off all of these potential threats, which is really cool. And we can do our part to help it along the way. So I'll share with you some things that are essential oil related, some things that are not oil related today, but just kind of giving you, I put together my top 7 things that I would say I do on an average daily basis. And then I have a couple extra things I'll share with you in case you want to take it a step further, because there's always that option too, right? If you don't know me yet, I guess I should introduce. I'm Kelly. I am the creator behind the Wholesome Nomad brand. I'm also one of the co-founders at Team It's Essential, where we teach people how to use doTERRA essential oils. I've been doing that for about 6 years now. I'm an essential oil specialist. I'm a women's health tour guide and coach. I have been full-time traveling with my hubby for, it's been almost 4 years now, which is amazing. We live in an RV and kind of just cruise around. And I have a background in education. So both my bachelor's and my master's degrees are in education with a focus on curriculum and instruction, which is why I absolutely love teaching you and teaching these classes. So thanks for giving me the space to show up and do the thing that lights me up. Okay, so here's kind of our agenda, if you will, for today. So we're going to talk about 7 main areas. And again, you can always go deeper, but I find that it's just really overwhelming, right? And a lot of times when we say the word detox, for me anyway, it conjures up these scary things, I'm going to be in the bathroom all day long, or I'm going to be in a lot of pain, or it's just going to be kind of miserable. I run a cleanse program a couple of times a year, and this is always a thing that hangs people up too with the word cleanse. I think cleanse and detox are kind of sort of synonymous. So for our purposes here today, I want you to think about detoxification as something that's totally normal and natural, that happens all the time without you even doing anything. But I'm going to give you tips here today to kind of help move those processes along, because your body already knows how to detoxify itself, which is awesome. But we definitely live a lifestyle, and we can get into situations and be exposed to different environmental threats that maybe cause our detoxification pathways to jam up a little bit, or just to not work as well as they need to be. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So here are these 7 areas, and we're going to dive deep into each one. All right, so first one is greens. And you guys, a lot of this might sound obvious to you, but I have to say, when I first started, tapping into the world of natural healthcare, I was like, okay, yeah, I know I need to eat vegetables and drink water, but my mind was kind of blown at how much of an impact these things made when I started prioritizing them. So if you're sitting here being like, oh my gosh, she's going to tell me I need to eat the kale and drink the water, I already know that. I know you know that. What I'm doing is giving you a little bit more information as to what you can do to kind of make those a priority, and to recognize that honestly, we're all human and none of us are perfect. And there are days, I just had dental work done a couple of days ago, and I'll be completely honest, other than in a smoothie, I was not getting any greens in, right? Because I couldn't chew anything. And I was really swollen and numb and it was miserable. So we all have these like peaks and valleys and moments in life where we are doing a little better than maybe we were the day before, or a little bit worse, and that's okay. But these are just things like a skeletal model that you can kind of lean back on. And if you can keep these 7 daily tenets happening in your life every day and get them to the point where they're just easy, natural habits, you're going to feel much better just by doing these things, I promise. So with our greens, you want to shoot for 2 to 3 servings of greens a day. A serving, according to the FDA, I believe it's the FDA, is about a cup. Okay, so a cup is 1 serving. So you're shooting for 2 to 3 cups of vegetables, green vegetables a day. Now, a lot of times people like to get them in via juicing or smoothies. It kind of depends on what you're looking to do. For detoxification purposes, I personally don't think it matters so much, as long as you're getting it in your body, right? But if you are wanting to increase more fiber, maybe you watched our Perfect Poop class a couple months ago and you're like, ooh, I need more fiber in my diet. You're going to want to do more of like smoothies that are with the fiber of the fruit, of the vegetables and the fruits in there, or like whole vegetables, right? Things especially like cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage especially are all really, really great for detoxification. And then you can also kind of look at some vegetables that have a little bit more of that pre and probiotic content. So again, it's a lot of those cruciferous vegetables, dark leafy greens, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, spinach, of course, is a popular one, arugula. Next time you're at your local health food store, just kind of peruse the greens aisle and see if there's anything brand new that's there for you. I like to challenge myself. I recently rediscovered, I guess I should say, dinosaur kale. I love dinosaurs, and my health food store happened to have it in abundance when I went a couple weeks ago. And so I grabbed some and I'm absolutely just loving it. I've been shredding it and putting it into like, rice or scrambled eggs, or just adding it into wraps or putting it in my smoothies. It's amazing. So challenge yourself to find some new greens that might be different for you rather than the everyday. If you are juicing, remember that you're actually removing all of the fibers from the vegetables. So you're just getting like the juice, which is great. But you just kind of keep that in mind depending on what you need for your body. So juices and smoothies are similar but different. You're still getting the benefits and the nutrition from a lot of your greens and your fruits, but you're not getting some of those other essential nutrients depending on which way you go. Another good alternative is like a greens powder. I will warn you, there's a ton of them out there on the market, and it can be really overwhelming. So I will, dinosaur kale is your favorite jam too, Donna. I love it. So I linked up for you if you're watching on Facebook, and if you catch the replay here, I will link up for you my favorite. I like the brand Organifi. Amazing Grass is another really great one. doTERRA makes a good greens powder called Terra Greens. They all will bill you as, it doesn't taste green. Yes, it does. It's a greens powder. I have tried pretty much all of them on the market. They all taste like greens. It's okay. Add a drop of lemon or a little squeeze of lemon juice if you want in there. And just down it, just get it in your body. That's going to be really important for you, especially if you're on the go, or if you're like me and you're having a lot of dental work done and you can't eat your greens, or you have a hard time digesting or processing them all the time. Having a greens powder in your pantry is going to be really helpful. Chlorophyll is another big one. Liquid chlorophyll is my favorite. I just put it in my water once a day, like add a little teaspoon of it. You can get it on Amazon or get it at your natural health food store. And side benefit to chlorophyll, it also helps to balance body odors, any kind of body odors, which is really cool. So that's going to be a really good one for you too. So all of the greens for daily detox for sure. Next up is water. I know, I know. We've all heard this so many times, like, how many more times can we hear how important water is? But honestly, super important. Basically, I like to tell my health coaching clients, you're like a walking cucumber with anxiety, right? Like humans are 75% water. We need to be replacing this in our bodies all the time. Your body naturally draws from the water in your body to detoxify. So if you're not replenishing that, your detox pathways are not going to work as well. They might get a little jammed up, and you're gonna notice it. You might notice some changes in your skin, even in your sleep, your mood, because your body is sucking that water from essential other parts of your body, like from your skin, right? So my skin gets really dry, and then I get acne like breakouts because I have an overproduction of oil if I don't have enough water. So kind of keep that in mind. Using citrus oils is hugely impactful when you're going to be drinking extra water, right? So you want to shoot for half your body weight in ounces if you can. Again, every body is different, so pay attention and tune in, but that's kind of like my rule of thumb. Shoot for half your body weight in ounces of water. And then when you're using a citrus essential oil, make sure, you all know that I teach about doTERRA essential oils because they're the only oils I trust to take internally. You want to make sure that there is a supplement fact on the back of your essential oil bottle. If there is not a supplement fact, this oil is not safe for you to take internally. And make sure that you dive into whatever company that you're going with to make sure that they have the quality and the purity and the testing in place to where it's safe for you to take it internally. When you're taking safe essential oils internally, especially with citrus, it's super great for detoxification because they're very high in a chemical constituent called limonene. Limonene comes from the rind of the citrus fruit. So grapefruit, lime, lemon, orange, I'm blanking on some others, green mandarin, right? Kumquat, clementine, all those different citruses. The limonene helps to, it's high in antioxidants. So it's going to help to flush your body of like heavy metals, really great for loving on the organs, especially liver, kidneys, spleen, right? We want to make sure that we're paying lots of attention because those organs are working for us so much. They do so much work and we don't give them enough credit. My favorite little hack, if you want to take one thing away from this, is every morning upon waking, have a warm mug of water with a couple drops of lemon essential oil, or if you don't want to use an essential oil, squeeze a little bit of fresh lemon juice, right? Not the canned stuff or the stuff like in the little green squeezy thing. A fresh lemon or some lemon essential oil if you can. It doesn't need to be hot, but just at least room temperature, a little bit warmer, and that will help to balance the pH in your system, help to kind of wake everything up, and also it helps set you up for more success with your water intake throughout the rest of the day. So I have to trick myself. I'm a coffee drinker. Sometimes I use different alternatives like a mushroom coffee or cacao, but I like to have something warm in the morning. It's like a little cup of cozy, right? Even if it's hot outside. So I actually set my warm mug full of water and my lemon oil right by my coffee pot every night when I say goodnight to my kitchen. So the first thing I do in the morning is I heat up my water, I add my lemon, and I drink it before I allow myself my cup of coffee. It's like a little mindset shift. But it's super important, and I promise you'll notice a big difference when you just do that one thing and keep that consistent. If you're going to be using essential oils, please make sure that you're only drinking your essential oils out of glass, stainless steel, or ceramic, not plastic or aluminum. The pure compounds of the essential oil will actually eat and start to decompose the synthetics that are in plastic, and then you're going to get all those carcinogens into your water, into your body, and that's like totally the opposite of what we want to have happening here, right? So please use glass, stainless steel, or ceramic when you're using your essential oils internally. Okay, I won't hammer you with water anymore. These are some of my favorites to use when I'm drinking my water. So I do my lemon in the morning, and then I kind of switch up and use different citrus oils throughout the day in my water, in my tea, in my smoothies. You can do kind of whatever you'd like. These are 4 of my favorites that kind of live in front of my water filter. And I have these 4 that live permanently in front of the Berkey water filter. So it's like our little hydration station. Green mandarin lately has been my absolute, I say lately, for like the last year, has been my absolute favorite. I love the way it tastes. It's so refreshing. If you want to kind of spice it up a little bit and have something fun, add a drop of green mandarin and a drop of spearmint and let me know what you think. It's really, really awesome. So those are some options for you. There's a ton of different citrus oils, but those are just my faves. Okay, so number 3 is to do some sort of a daily bath or foot soak. You could even do every other day or once a week. But again, these are all things that if you did every day, they're not going to hurt you. They're not going to like tax your organs. They're going to be totally safe for you to do every day. And you'll get a lot of good health benefits from it. So we don't have a bathtub living in an RV. So I do a foot soak. I either sit on my kitchen counter and put my feet in the sink, or I use like a Home Depot bucket. You can use whatever you have, right? So don't think, oh, I don't have a tub, so I can't, I'm going to skip this part. This is super important, even if all you can do is a foot soak. Here's my like little recipe: equal parts Epsom salts and baking soda. People are usually like asking me for recipes. I don't measure anything. I just kind of dump them in. So like a, I don't know, cup, maybe a cup of Epsom salts, cup of baking soda, especially if you're going to fill a tub. If you're using a sink or a Home Depot bucket, probably maybe like a third or half a cup. You can optionally add some extra things to like amplify, especially for the detoxification. So if I am feeling like I'm coming down with something, or I'm pre or post travel, or we just hosted a big wedding at the property where we're staying at this weekend, and we were really safe. We were all socially distanced and following all the rules, but there were a lot of people, more people than I have seen probably in the last 6 months in one place, right? So I did a little foot soak the day after just to kind of help my body to process all of the different threats that it was exposed to, even though we were being super careful, right? So what I do is I actually grate ginger, fresh ginger. It looks like a little troll toe. You can find it in your grocery store, usually by like the onions and potatoes. Maybe it might also be by like your turmeric, parsnips, carrots area. Ask your local grocery store person if you can't find it. Looks like a little troll toe. I just use a microplane and grate it into the tub or into the bucket, probably maybe like about a tablespoon of that fresh ginger. What's cool about ginger is it's like naturally warming. So if you are soaking in the tub with warm water and some grated ginger, you will notice that you'll actually naturally start to sweat, which is really cool. Sweat is number 5. So we're gonna be talking about how important that is. But if you can maybe double up and sweat in your bath, that's even better, right? You're just going to be releasing all of that, all those toxins through your sweat glands, which is a really beautiful thing. I think we're afraid of sweat. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too. But yes, add ginger to your foot soak. That'd be really, really awesome. Okay, the other thing I love is adding apple cider vinegar. That's an ACV. Apple cider vinegar is not as harsh as regular white vinegar, so it's actually really soothing to your skin, and it's gentle enough to use on your pink parts. So you're not going to have any like burning or anything depending on how much you use. I just do like a splash into the tub or the bucket. That can help to draw toxins out as well in a really safe way. And then of course, add your essential oils of choice. You can use essential oils for detoxification or just use them for calming. Use whatever you like. Keep in mind, do not use your hot essential oils in your bath, or you could maybe do it in your foot soak, like On Guard, because your feet are a little tougher. They have some like less sensitive skin, but I still would avoid things like cinnamon, peppermint, oregano. Don't put those in your bath because you have to remember your pores are open with the heat and the water, and it's just going to amplify the effect of those essential oils. So it might be really uncomfortable. When I first got started with essential oils, I came down with a cold maybe about a month after. I was a kindergarten teacher, so I was always coming down with colds. And I was like, okay, On Guard's supposed to be great when I'm sick. So I'm going to put some On Guard in my bath and take a detox bath. Well, I put like 15 drops of On Guard into my bath water and then proceeded to take a detox bath. And I very quickly regretted it. My whole body was red. I was like, it was really uncomfortable. Luckily, we know that these are pure essential oils. So I was able to use some coconut oil and a little lavender. And within 5 minutes, I was fine and back to normal, but it was really uncomfortable. So learn from my mistakes and use a more gentle essential oil. Zendocrine is my favorite essential oil blend to use in a detox bath or a foot soak. And we'll talk a little bit about Zendocrine here in a second, but if you need to like think of one, that's my favorite for sure. You want to also make sure that you're soaking for about 20 minutes. That's about as long as it takes for all of the toxins to kind of leave your body and for the magnesium in the Epsom salts to soak in. So give yourself a minimum of 20 minutes longer if you can. But if you can do 20 minutes, that'd be great. Throw in an episode of Friends or something and it'll go by really quickly. Also, you want to make sure you rinse off after. This is an important step that a lot of people either don't do, and I've been that person before, or forget to do. So just make sure you hop into the shower or run some warm water over your feet after you have detox, because chances are a lot of the gunk that has left your body is still lingering on your skin. So we want to make sure that we're rinsing that off so we don't reabsorb it. Okay, step 4 is dry brushing. This is something that's relatively new to me, maybe in the last couple of years. And I'll be honest, up until the last few months, I haven't really been super consistent with it. But we did our Candida cleanse a while back, and it kind of like reinvigorated my love of the dry brush. So this is what a dry brush looks like. It's a soft bristle brush. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. Amazon. I've even seen them at like Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, those different places. My hair is full of this, even though it's not for your head, but it's okay. So a dry brush is really, really cool. It helps to stimulate the lymphatic system, and your lymph nodes are what help detoxify your body, right? So if you think about like where you sweat in your armpits, there's a ton of lymph nodes there. You sweat in your groin. Y'all, we're gonna go there. I have no TMI, just so you know. So like you get really like sweaty and swampy in the groin area, right? You have tons of lymph nodes there. So again, adding extra things to stimulate the lymphatic system will help to kind of move things through and out, and also helps with circulation. So there's tons of benefits for dry brushing, especially when it comes to detoxing. So you want to do is brush in sweeping motions all over your body, and you want to make sure you cover all of your skin. You are going to take all your clothes off. I am not going to do that for you today, but I will just kind of demo it for you. So you're going to do sweeping motions. I kind of like to do almost like little half moons, and start from your fingertips and go all the way up. You want to make sure you're brushing towards the heart and the trunk, because if you think about it, all of our organs and our body's like internal filtration system live kind of in this trunk part of our body. So we want to get all of it there so that it can flush itself out. Okay. So again, from your legs, you want to start at your toes, brush up, little sweeping motions, little circles. Don't forget, especially you ladies, don't forget the girls. Okay, there's actually tons of lymph nodes in and around your breast tissue. They do so much for us. So let's not forget them. Just be really gentle. You might want to like place a finger over the nipple area so that you don't hurt yourself, because it can feel a little rough. Don't be worried if your skin turns kind of pink afterwards. What you've done is like exfoliated basically, and you've stimulated lots of circulation. So you're going to have some extra blood flow to your skin. Totally okay. If you want, you could even do your face. Just again, make sure you're brushing down the neck, right? So that it goes towards the heart and towards your trunk. You can also feel free to do your pink parts. Just again, be really, really careful, but there's lots of lymph nodes down there in that brain area like we talked about. So don't be afraid. Also, if you do get any kind of like bikini waxes, dry brushing is going to be your new best friend. No more ingrown hairs. That's a side benefit for sure. It's best done in the morning before your shower if you can. If not, honestly, anytime before you're going to hop in a detox bath or a shower would be a perfect time to do it. I like to use essential oils with my dry brushing. It's entirely up to you. For that, all you would do is put a couple drops on your brush and then brush your skin, right? To wash it, I just use a little bit of the On Guard hand soap and some water and kind of rinse it out and change it in between oils sometimes. But honestly, I've used probably 10 or 11 different essential oils on this brush and it smells so good. So don't be afraid to kind of mix and match, and you know, don't need to worry about cleaning it like every single time unless you want to, of course. But just make sure that your skin is dry, not wet. If you try to dry brush with wet skin, it's going to feel really uncomfortable. So make sure you do it with dry skin. If you have questions, let me know. Okay. Number 5 is to sweat. This is another thing that I'm sure it's like kind of obvious, right? Yes, we know we need to sweat in order to detoxify, but there might be some things that you don't think about that can cause you to sweat beyond like exercise. So a lot of times people think of like cardio, right? I got to go do a HIIT workout in order to sweat. I got to go do a 10-mile run like my husband just did. He just came back in order to sweat, right? So it's actually lots of things we can do. So you can get yourself into a sauna. If you don't have one, like me, we travel full time. I don't have room for a sauna, unfortunately. One day I will figure out a way to have a sauna in my RV. But until then, I actually will just Google it. Sometimes I'll go into Groupon and they'll have like sauna deals in different areas, and I'll go and soak in an infrared sauna. Yoga, especially if you're doing deep belly breathing yoga with that Ujjayi breath, which like kind of creates heat in the body, in through your nose, out through your nose. Right, you're creating this like kind of guttural throat constriction. It's going to help to generate heat in the body, and you will start to sweat after a period of time. Any kind of exercise, and also just getting in the sun. So I think sunbathing has kind of gotten a bad rap. Obviously, you want to be careful. Don't get yourself burned. Be really smart about it. But 10 to 15 minutes of direct sun exposure a day, especially if it helps you to sweat a little bit without sunscreen on your skin, is actually really great. You're going to promote produce some vitamin D, which is also great for your immune system and also help you to get your sweat on. So think about that and be mindful. Again, like I said, you could also just do it in the bath, which requires very little work. Soak yourself in the tub with some ginger and you will start to sweat. It's kind of weird. It's a very odd experience to be sitting in water and then be like leaking water. It's weird. Make sure you have water with you that you're drinking while you're in the detox bath, by the way, especially if you're adding ginger so that you're replacing all of that important liquid. Okay, and then number 6 is sleep. So weirdly enough, when we are prioritizing sleep, we're actually helping our body detoxify. When you sleep, your body goes into rest and restore mode, right? That's when it does all of its important, juicy work because it's not worried about making sure that you're, not getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or that you're having to like find food and all those basic human instincts. None of that's happening when you're sleeping. So your body has an opportunity to really do what it needs to do. So I know this sounds really easy, right? But it's hard to do. Sometimes making sleep a priority is huge. I have neglected my sleep for the better part of 3 years and really started seeing a bunch of negative health effects happening because of that right around November of last year. And I was recently diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and my functional medicine doctor thinks it has a lot to do with the fact that I haven't been sleeping. So my cortisol and other hormone levels are off. And when they're not working correctly, then your body can't detoxify and it also can't digest things. It's just like a whole bunch of issues that happen when we don't prioritize sleep. So, everyone needs a different amount of sleep. If you can, use some sort of a fitness tracker. I've been using the Whoop, W-H-O-O-P. not sponsored. I've just been using it and loving it. It's been really great to kind of monitor how much time I'm in REM, how much time I'm in deep sleep, how much time I'm awake. And it has a really cool function where you actually track each day. There's like a quick little journal, yes or no set of binary questions like, did you have alcohol before you went to sleep? Did you exercise that day? Did you stretch? Did you have sex? Did you masturbate? Did you, like, all these different questions? Did you take magnesium, right? And it will help you to kind of track and see where you're being successful with your sleep and what's maybe causing you to not sleep as well. Yes, for sure. Whoop, whoop. I love it. It's been really great. There's also a ring that does the same thing. It's not by the company Whoop. I think it's Oura, O-U-R-A, if I remember correctly. And it's supposed to do the same thing. I haven't tried that one, but I was researching that before. So that could be an option for you as well. Get a routine in place. You know, a lot of us, even if you don't have kids, you probably remember as a kid having a bedtime routine, right? Someone would read you a story, you would take a bath, maybe you would drink some water, whatever. There was a lullaby involved. There was a whole bedtime routine. And it's so funny how we are so quick to set those up for kids, and then we forget to do it for us as adults, right? I don't have kids, and I'm still really, really bad sometimes about getting my sleep routine. Oh, Donna shared with us that Sleep Cycle is another excellent app. Yes, I always forget about that one. Thank you for sharing. And if you have a Fitbit or a Garmin, those also usually have sleep apps. But if you're really wanting to up-level that, definitely look into something more specific. One takeaway. So again, we talked about the takeaway up here of just using warm water with lemon in the morning, right? So one more takeaway, if I can, with you for your sleep: no blue light before bed. This is a hard one for a lot of people, especially if you have been conditioned to fall asleep with the TV on. This is a big one. Try your best to wean yourself off of that habit, because what's actually doing is tricking your brain and your melatonin isn't kicking in. If you're on your phone or on your computer, half an hour, 45 minutes before bed, the same thing is happening. So put your phone to sleep in another room, or if you have the self-control, leave it in your room, but turn it on airplane mode or sleep mode or whatever it is. Do not disturb. I have people all over the world texting me, messaging me all the time. So I'm very boundaried with my phone, right? When it's time to go off, it goes off. It goes into sleep mode and I don't look at it again. But I know it's really tricky for us. So just try little tiny movements. Move the needle just a little bit to try to get control of your sleep. I'm a big stickler on, there's not a whole lot of things in my life that I'm really rigid on. Having no TV in the bedroom is a huge one for me. When I was growing up, my mom always told me that the bedroom was for two things, right? Sleeping and the other thing, not for watching TV. So we've kind of always done that I've always done that personally. And then in our marriage, we've always done that. And it's done wonders for both our sleep and our sex life. So just kind of keep that in mind, not to shame or judge you, but that can be something that can really, really impact your sleep and thereby your detox processes. Okay, and number 7, and then I have a few bonus tips because you know that I can't shut up and I also have to share with you. Number 7 is just to reduce your overall toxic load. So I think we hear this buzzword thrown around a lot, like, oh, your toxicity, toxic load. We don't really know what it means. So your toxic load is just the amount of threats. So whether that's pathogens or chemicals or whatever it might be that your body is undergoing every single day. And for some people, their toxic load is going to be really small, and for some people, it's going to be really large. And it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, you can find a way to reduce it, right? Even someone like me, I haven't purchased a cleaning product or used a chemical in beauty care product in 6 years. There's still always opportunities for me to slowly reduce that toxic load. And by doing that, you're just really helping your body with its own detoxification processes. So cleaning products are huge. If I could pick one of these areas for you, it would be cleaning products. And you guys, it's so easy. You don't even need essential oils, right? Start with baking soda and vinegar. That's it. You can even use baking soda and a squeeze of lemon if you want to make, and some water, to make your own cleaning products. Look it up on Pinterest, Google it. You live in the age of information. Ignorance is a choice. We don't need to be using toxic cleaning products. And I know for so many of you, I'm like preaching to the choir and you're like, yeah, whatever. But I'm sure you have someone in your life who's still using toxic cleaning products. So if you need to take my words and regurgitate them to somebody else, please do so. Start with cleaning products. It's hugely, hugely important. The other thing is beauty care products. Yes, for sure, Donna, everything is better with essential oils. And yes, absolutely. When you add your essential oils to your cleaning products, you're just going to amplify how well they clean, all their antibacterial, antimicrobial properties. It's amazing. And once you go essential oils, you'll never go back. I promise you. But if you need kind of an in-between step, just grab some vinegar, and baking soda. Think of all the money you'll save too. I cannot imagine how much money I've saved in the last 6 years not buying cleaning products. Beauty care is huge. There was a study that was done a couple years ago, and they found that the average American woman puts over 150 chemicals on her body every single day. That's bananas. That's truly crazy to me. But we don't know what we don't know, right? So start looking at your beauty care products, your shampoo, your moisturizer, your serum. You can make all these with your essential oils and a few easy ingredients, PS. But if you don't want to make them, there's tons of companies out there that do stuff that are clean. I really like Beauty Counter for my makeup. Crunchy is another really great one. That's CRUNCHI. If you're not sure, go to ewg.org. That's Environmental Working Group. You can also download an app and actually scan the barcode on the back of all of your products, and it will give you a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 with how toxic it is. I try not to let anything that's above a 3 in my home, right? So kind of take that for what it is and maybe dive into that. Air quality is another huge one, especially for my loves right now that are out on the West Coast. There's so many fires happening and your air quality is just totally trashed. So do what you can to help with that. One thing that I recommend that you can do that's super simple is honestly just diffuse 24/7. Get yourself an essential oil diffuser and a bottle of Breathe. Super simple. It won't cost you very much money, and have that baby running 24 hours a day. It might scare some of you to like have something running while you're sleeping. Don't worry, most diffusers will shut off when they run out of water. Super safe. I haven't had any problems. We live in 200 square feet and we have 4 diffusers running pretty much all the time, which is excessive. I'm not saying you need to do that, but definitely, especially if you have compromised air quality, you live somewhere where there's a high allergen content, lots of smoke in the air, you know that there's been like mold or asbestos in your home, getting your diffuser up and running is going to be helpful. You could look into air purifiers and things like that too. But honestly, for a really low income or low cost option, just use your diffuser and a bottle of Breathe. Super, super easy and super cheap. And then processed food, believe it or not, there are tons of chemicals in processed food. Next time you're at the grocery store, or if you have some in your pantry, go look at some kids cereal, like a bottle, whatever it is, a box of Trix or Lucky Charms. There are some frightening chemical ingredients in those foods. So without totally freaking you out, you need to become a label reading gangster, right? And my friend Hillary kind of quoted that, and I love it so much because it's so true. Look at the labels, look at your ingredients. If you are struggling with like, okay, well, which processed foods can I eat, can I not? Just try to eat as many whole foods as you can. Whole foods, mostly plants, limit your sugar, dairy, and alcohol. Super simple way to reduce your toxic load. I think a lot of times, especially in America, in our diet culture, we're conditioned to like need a label. I need to go vegan or vegetarian or paleo or keto. And if that works for you, great. But honestly, my biggest tenet when I talk to a lot of my health coaching clients is just to keep it simple. Whole foods, mostly plants, right? Super simple. It doesn't need to be that hard. I promise. Okay, so here are a couple extra bonus tips. One is Symphony of the Cells. I was going to grab my book for you. Stand by. I forgot it. Luckily, in RV, everything is super close. Symphony of the Cells is a really cool protocol that was developed by Dr. Boyd Truman. And he has created these different protocols for different things in the body. So if you want to help with your neurological system and you use your essential oils, neurological system, infectious disease, digestive, there's a ton of them. Use your essential oils and all you do is apply them to the spine in a specific order. There's one in here, well, all of them will work to detoxify because you're getting essential oils on the spine, but there are a couple in here that really help with detoxification. So grab a Symphony of the Cells book. It's really inexpensive. And put your essential oils to use if you haven't already dove into that. It's really, really important. Oh yes, thanks. I'm so glad you're here, Donna. You're like my second brain. And Boyd Truman is offering training for the Symphony of the Cells online, and it's really inexpensive training as well. So just go to symphonyofthecells.com. You can also sign up for their email list, and they're always sending out updates and things like that. So super great. The other thing you can do if you want to take it a step further is do a cleanse program, right? And that's going to be something that's a little bit more intense than just your average daily, one of these 7 detox tips. So you can do, I have the Kick the Candida program. That's the cleanse program that I run a couple times a year. We won't be running it again probably until after the first of the year, but if you wanted to, you can totally run it by yourself. I have the ebook for sale on my website. I will post it for you here. It's just $9 to download it, and it has all the information in there that you could possibly want or need. You can also book a private one-on-one health coaching session with me if you want a little bit of support and accountability with doing the cleanse yourself. So that can be really good, especially if you have some gut stuff happening. leaky gut, improper digestion, whatever that might be. Or if you missed our Kick the Candida program and you want to do it on your own, you totally can. It's always more fun with friends, but you totally can, and I'm here to help. So just feel free to email me if you have questions. Also, doTERRA has a really great cleanse and restore protocol. So I won't go totally into it, but it uses some probiotics, some digestive enzymes, our Zendocrine. It's really, really great if you're wanting to kind of do a full body cleanse and reset and you're open to using essential oils and supplements. So that's a really good option for you as well. There are a billion cleanse programs out there. These are just two that I really love because I have one I created because I needed it. And the other one I have done several times with doTERRA, and it's really great. But I'm sure that you are empowered enough to find your own as well, if neither of them. Okay, super quick as we wrap up, here are a few of my favorite things as we talk all things detox. Our Zendocrine blend, which I mentioned earlier is my favorite for detox baths, has tangerine, rosemary, geranium, juniper berry, and cilantro. Super awesome for just supporting your adrenal system, your endocrine system, really getting everything to kind of detox and flush. I will add this to my water. I actually don't mind the taste of it. Some people find the geranium to be a little offensive, which is okay. She definitely smacks you in the face a little bit. So if that's not for you, the Zendocrine oil also comes in a soft gel that you could just take like a pill. But you could also just rub it on the soles of your feet. I make this little roller blend. Let's see, I made it, I want to say 2 years ago, and it's still half full. It has Zendocrine and cilantro, and this is what I use whenever I need lots of extra detox support. So I just had a mammogram done a couple of weeks ago, so I was rolling this over my kidneys and on the soles of my feet. I had some anesthesia done with my dental stuff 2 days ago, so I was doing the same thing: kidneys, soles of the feet, the spine, even your lymph nodes here, your glands underneath the neck. So super simple. If you yourself are getting immunizations, or you have kiddos who need immunizations, this is going to be really important for you, especially when you're detoxing from those heavy metals and things that are lingering in some of our vaccines. Cilantro is another really great one. Again, just really helpful to detox the body. You can also put it in the diffuser or add it to water. Also super great in like salsa. Added extra little benefit there. And then the Terra Greens I mentioned is a greens powder that doTERRA makes. It's really great. It's fruit and veggies in here. It tastes green. So a lot of times people ask me like, oh, does it taste fruity? Or, oh, no, it tastes green, but it's good. It's not terrible. And of all of them that I've tried on the market, this is probably in my top 3. So it's a really good one. Then we have the Zendocrine Complex. So this is our Zendocrine oil. The Zendocrine Complex is a little different. It has some essential oils in it, which is great. And it also has some other food nutrient complexes. And it's just totally to benefit your organ systems and your endocrine. So if you're really feeling like you need extra help and the Zendocrine oil isn't quite cutting it, or you want to do yourself on like a mini cleanse, I would totally recommend you take this for 30 days and then work on some of those other 7 areas that we talked about today as well. So they are different, the Zendocrine oil and the Zendocrine Complex, but they work on the same part of the body, which is really great. Okay, if you are brand new to essential oils, now feels like a good time for you to get started. We have some awesome stuff happening this month. We actually just had our annual convention virtually last week, which is really fun. So we have some new diffusers that came out. This is my favorite little starter kit happening right now, especially if you need some help with immune support and detox support. So this is our Simple Solutions kit. It's $105. It comes with Deep Blue, which is great for pain, lemon, which we talked about, On Guard for immune support, Serenity, which is going to help you chill out and sleep, which is super important. And then you can add on a couple extra things, whether that might be the Zendocrine Complex if you want some support there. Maybe you're looking to detox your cleaning products and you want to add some On Guard cleaner concentrate. We'll chat and we can kind of design a kit that's best for you. But I like this because you use that Simple Solutions kit as like your base and then add on a couple of things to make it yours. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm also offering a free bottle of Breathe to any new customers between now and the end of the month. So let me know if I can help you get started. And finally, before we finish today, I did want to continue letting you know that I am offering private health coaching now, which has been so fun. It's been such a great experience. So if you are in a place where you know that you need to up-level your health in some areas and you're a little overwhelmed, you're like, there's so many different natural healthcare options, I don't know what to do, you need some clarity, you want to create a plan that you'll actually stick to, learning how to work yourself first in your self-care schedule and in your priority schedule, and really learning how to trust your intuition to make the best moves most for your family, let me know. I'd be honored to be your guide. And we can just book a free 20-minute strategy call to see if we would even resonate with working with each other, right? Because it's really important for us to partner with people that we know, like, and trust. I have started doing this private coaching because it's what I needed 6 years ago. And I hired someone who did this for me. And so this is a great way for me to be able to pay it forward. And I'm having so much fun doing it. It's so rewarding when you can partner with people who get you, who you don't feel like you're speaking in an alien language to, right? So I would love to be that source of just a safe place for you if that resonates. And if we're not already, please make sure we're friends. I am on all of the vortexes. And also we have a brand new Facebook group that I just started a little bit ago called the Supernatural Self-Care Social. So I hope that you join it and hang out. All right, y'all, I hope you are having an absolutely wonderful Friday. Let me know what resonated with you from class today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out on one of these areas. Send me a carrier pigeon, that works too. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.